We are now going to explore some examples of learner pathways that some of our young people have chosen as they enter the senior phase. These young people are examples of how our curriculum redesign has enabled all learners to experience success. Our aim of no poverty of aspiration means that all learners receive the appropriate level of support and guidance to allow them to achieve their full potential. Our first case study explores the story of a young girl who made the decision to leave school at the end of S4. From a young age, education was not a priority for this young person, as she still had a variety of other challenges to overcome. She was a frequent non-attender in primary school, which continued into S1. By S3, she was still struggling, and her dad passed away with no one else to care for her from her family. She really struggled with a sense of belonging. We began to tap into her strengths through her enjoyment and talent for hospitality, and she gained a Level 5 Hospitality Award in S4. This also led to an ongoing work placement in a local cafe, which has now led to a paid employment opportunity where she still works part-time. After gaining confidence in her ability to learn and to be successful, she has set her sights on becoming an air steward and is now currently studying full-time at college. She regularly visits the school and often returns to seek help with any maths work that might be included as part of her college course. She recently supported our S2 transition evening by returning as an alumni and sharing her story with other young people. Our school's commitment to providing additional support to young people who are care experienced has allowed this young person to go on and achieve her full potential. Our second case study focuses on a boy who has struggled academically in primary school and in his first few years in secondary. He was diagnosed with additional support needs in early S1 and from that point began to embrace the supports that were put in place by our staff. Our PEF team worked closely with this young person and his mum, and through his equity plan, teaching strategies were identified for our staff to use in the classroom. This young person always had a plan to leave school at the end of S4 and become a professional footballer or to begin an apprenticeship in a trade. Through the development of strong relationships, this young person began to feel a sense of belonging at St Luke's. Following on his strong attainment in S4, staff worked closely with both him and his mum to explore other options that were now available. He chose to return for an S5 and is now on track to achieve 5 higher passes. He has been awarded a scholarship to study in the USA, which will now allow him to combine his passion for football with his studies. Our final case study explores a young person who, with significant support, has overcome a number of barriers to her learning. The family live in extreme poverty and she is partially deaf and is a young carer. We work closely with this young person and her family to ensure that any barriers to learning were removed. We also provide the family with a weekly food shop through our Fair Share initiative. This young person has always been keen to work with children and families and had been exploring the role of a child development officer in a local nursery. With further intensive support from staff, she is now a key member of our S6 leadership group and has applied to study social work at university. So we have come to the end of our presentation, and I hope it has provided you with an understanding of the journey we have been on since 2017. St Luke's High School is a place where our young people want to be and are choosing to remain with us beyond S4. The time that we have spent on redesigning the curriculum has allowed our young people to find enjoyment in their learning, and the extensive work that has taken place around improving attendance and improving outcomes for those learners with barriers has helped us to create a school where our young people feel that sense of belonging.